not the first of your kind. Staring at your hands, waiting in company lines. Another secret spills. Just me and my dead-end thrills. Did you think that we'd come back from this place once we had a taste? But you can get whatever you want. You can get whatever you want. But you're holding back for something. You can get whatever you want.
Welcome to your daily dose of White House propaganda.
Whatever you want.
I hope you're enjoying the new look. I'm feeling pretty fresh about this look right now. Let's get into it right now. Everyone, get your tinfoil hats on and join the America Jobs Plan. This beat's so fresh. I know when to stop right now. All right, let's stop. All right, let's get into this.
Afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Last week in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I announced my plan to rebuild what I refer to as the backbone of America through the American Jobs Plan.
With Poxitani Phil.
It's not a plan that tinkers around the edges. It's a once-in-a-generation investment in America.
You would know.
Unlike anything we've done since we built the interstate highway system and won the space race decades ago.
Space
It's the
race.
single largest investment in American jobs since World War II. And it's a plan that puts millions of Americans to work to fix what's broken in our country.
It's true.
Tens of thousands of miles of roads and highways, thousands of bridges in desperate
Fire.
need of repair. But it also is a blueprint for infrastructure needed for tomorrow, not just yesterday, tomorrow. For American jobs, for American competitiveness. Last week, I said that once Congress is back from recess, I'd get to work right away because we have no time to lose.
Congress, you need to come back from
So
recess.
here we
It's been
are.
15 minutes.
Democrats and Republicans will
Teachers
have
are worried about
ideas
you.
about what they like and what they don't like about our plan. That's a good thing.
That's a
the
good thing.
American way. That's the way democracy works. Debate is welcome. Compromise
is
is
futile.
inevitable. Changes are certain. In the next few weeks, the Vice President and I will be meeting with Republicans and Democrats to hear from everyone. And we'll be listening. We'll be open to good ideas and good faith negotiations. But here's what we won't be open to. We will not be open to doing nothing. Inaction simply
That's right.
is not an option.
If you disagree with us,
Now, since I announced this
We're
plan,
dancing.
I've heard from my Republican friends say that many of them say it's too big. They say, why not focus on traditional infrastructure? Fix what we've already got, the roads and the highways that exist and the bridges. I'm happy to have
focusing
that
on
debate.
this. It's a little bit more than
But I'll
bridges,
tell you my
right? And
view.
roads. Let's be real.
We are America.
It's
We
good.
don't just fix for today. We build for tomorrow. 200 years ago, trains weren't traditional infrastructure either, until America made a choice to lay down tracks across the country.
We're not Europe. We don't want
Highways
trains.
weren't traditional infrastructure.
We like our big
We
trucks.
allowed ourselves to imagine that roads could connect our nation across state lines.
That's fire.
The idea of infrastructure has always evolved to meet the aspirations of the American people and their needs. And it's evolving again today. We need to start seeing infrastructure through its effect on the lives of working people in America. What is the foundation today that they need to carve out their place in the middle class, to make it, to live, to go to work, to raise their families with dignity, to ensure that good jobs will be there for their kids, no matter who they are or what zip code they live in? That's what infrastructure means in the 21st century.
Yeah.
It still depends on roads and bridges, ports and airports, rail and mass transit. But it also depends on having
Airplanes.
reliable, high-speed internet in
Yeah.
every home. Because today's high-speed internet is
Sucks.
infrastructure.
Oh,
It depends on the electric grid.
depends.
A grid
Aren't we
that
all
won't
wearing those?
collapse in a winter storm.
Yeah,
Or be
Texas.
compromised by hackers at home or abroad. It depends on investing in made in
unhackable.
America goods from every American community,
Yeah.
including those that have historically been left out: Black, Latino, Asian American, Native Americans, rural communities.
Everybody but white people.
Talk to folks around the country about what really makes up the foundation of a good economy. Ask a teacher or a child care worker if having clean drinking
He's looking
water,
for a teacher right now.
non-contaminated drinking water in our schools and our child care centers is part of that foundation. When we know that the lead in our pipes slows a child's development when they drink that water.
They just cut that?
Ask
Looks
the
like they cut it.
entrepreneur whose small business was destroyed
What just
by
happened?
the second 100-year flood in the last
bless you.
10 years in Iowa. Or wildfires in the
Flood.
West that
Oh,
burned
wildfires.
5 million acres last year.
Fire.
An area roughly the size of the entire state of New Jersey. More fires than ever.
Fire.
Or the devastating damage. Seen more frequent and more intense hurricanes and storms on
Hurricanes.
the east and Gulf coasts.
I don't have water. Dang it.
Ask all those farmers and small business owners and homeowners whether investing in clean energy to fight the effects of climate change is part of infrastructure. Ask folks in rural America,
Yeah.
where more than 35% of the people lack
That-
a reliable
love this guy.
high-speed internet, limiting their ability to conduct business or engage in remote learning
Yeah.
for their schools. Ask them whether investing in internet access will lead to better jobs in town, new
Hundo P.
markets for farmers,
Starlink, Elon
better
Musk.
opportunities for their kids. And I'm serious about this. Ask the moms and dads in the sandwich generation.
I'm going to go
Folks
with
carrying
sandwich
enormous
generation.
personal and financial strains trying to
I like
raise
a
their
peanut
children
butter sandwich. I know what he
and
means.
care
though.
for their parents, their elderly parents, or members of their families with a disability. Ask them what sort of infrastructure they need
Ask not
to build
what
a
your
little better
government
life,
can
to be
do
able to
for
breathe a little
you,
bit.
but ask yours.
It's expanded services for seniors. It's home care workers who go in and cook their meal, help them get around and live independently in their home, allowing them to stay
I
in
want
their
that.
homes, and I might add, saving Medicaid hundreds of millions of dollars in the process.
That's who takes care of me right there.
It's
She's
better
a beautiful
wages and
nurse.
benefits and opportunities for caregivers.
She's a little lost right now.
Who
Where are you
are
going?
disproportionately
Where are you going,
women,
babe? Babe?
Women of color and
right here.
immigrants. Or ask our wounded warriors and military families. To my Republican colleagues in Congress, should we
You
modernize
will
VA
bow.
hospitals? Update them?
Or get rid
Many
of
of
them.
them are more than 50 years old.
Maybe just give them a,
How about the
a
estimate
network card.
450,000 post 9/11 veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder, who, when they make that
How about those
emergency
homeless
call with their
veterans that
husband,
are
wife,
living on the
son,
streets,
daughter,
huh?
makes that call to the VA hospital, Dad needs help, we have to bring him in. And they hear, you have to wait. We don't have room now.
Government
Back.
of
Call me back
government.
in 8 days, 10 days, 12 days.
Welcome
Look at
to
the
government
More
healthcare.
suicides in the military and people getting shot. Is it really your position, my
What?
friends, that our veterans don't deserve the most modern facilities? They could catch that cancer diagnosis quicker with access to better roads, cleaner
Maybe
water,
just let them use our
high-speed internet
already
that delivers
available
information faster,
Great
more of it.
hospitals.
Above all, infrastructure is about meeting the needs of a nation and putting Americans to work and being able to do and get paid for having good jobs.
You just the force.
Plumbers and pipe
Joe.
fitters. Replacing those literally thousands of miles of dangerous lead pipes. They're still out there.
God,
Everybody
get those lead
remembers
pipes.
What happened in Flint?
Get those lead pipes. Put them on
Hundreds
fire.
of Flints all across America.
Hundreds of flints.
How many of you know when you send your child to school, the fountain they're drinking out of
Smells
is
like
not
poop.
fed by a lead pipe?
It's fed by
How many of
horse
you
poop.
know the school your child is in still has
believe it.
asbestos in the walls and lacks the ventilation? Is that not infrastructure? Line workers and electricians.
What
Laying
bridge is that in the
transmission lines
background?
from modern grid.
Is that South
Providing
Carolina?
over 500,000 charging stations on the highways we are going to build to accommodate electric vehicles so we can own the future.
Own that future, baby.
Construction workers and engineers building modern,
John,
hospitals,
sit down.
modern hospitals
John.
and homes for American families.
Sit down, John.
Healthcare workers, steel workers, folks who work in the cutting edge labs. Nearly 90% of the infrastructure jobs created by our American Jobs Plan can be filled by people who don't have a college degree.
Idiots.
75% don't
Just kidding.
need an associate's degree.
You don't need a degree, like Elon Musk. Doesn't
I
he
said
not?
last
yeah, he
week,
has one. Or
This is
doesn't?
a
I don't know. I don't
blue-collar
remember.
blueprint for increasing opportunity for the American people.
You don't need a degree. You could just work for Joe
It also
Biden.
includes the biggest investment in non-defense research and development on record.
Coronavirus. He's got
I
it.
promise you, it's not part of my speech, but I promise you,
Promise
you're
me,
all
baby.
going to be reporting over the next 6 to 8 months how China and the rest of the world is racing ahead of us in the investments they have in the future.
Yeah, because they don't cut their
Attempting
pipelines.
to own the future,
Ooh.
the technology, quantum computing,
Quantum computing.
investing significant amounts of money
Learn to code.
in dealing with cancer and Alzheimer's. That's the infrastructure of a nation. There's a new book out about how we've fallen behind.
by
America's
Dr.
no
Seuss.
longer the leader of the world because we're not investing.
Oh my God.
It used to be we invested almost 2.7% of our GDP
Investing.
in infrastructure. Now it's about 0.7%.
Now those
When
stupid
we were
private
investing
companies
it,
are
we were the leader
fixing
in the
our
world.
problems. world.
I don't know why we don't get this.
I don't
One
know
of
why
the
you
only-
don't get it, bro.
A few major economies in the world whose public investment in research and development has declined as a percentage of GDP in the last 25 years.
It's not the only thing that's declined, am I right?
United States of America that led the world.
God, relax.
Why does this matter?
Joe, relax. You're
Investing
going to
in
have a
research and
hernia,
development.
bro.
Helped lead to lithium batteries, LED technology, the internet itself. It helped lead to vaccine breakthroughs that are helping us beat COVID-19. The Human
COVID-19.
Genome Project, which has led to breakthroughs in how we understand and fight cancer and other diseases. Government, meaning the taxpayers, funded this research. Government.
What the heck?
When we stop investing in research, we stop investing in the jobs of the future, and we give up leading the world.
Or just give them
When we do
incentives.
invest in research, what we're really doing is raising the bar on what we can imagine.
You all right, Joe?
Imagine a world where you and your family can travel coast to coast without a single tank of gas, or in a high-speed train close to as fast as you can go across the country in a plane. Imagine your children
Not as
growing
fast.
up to work in innovation, good-paying jobs in fields that haven't even been invented yet. Like the parents of every computer programmer, every graphic designer, every renewable energy worker once did.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Imagine
We
all
invest
the
today
people.
so that these jobs will be here in America tomorrow. So America can lead the world that is as is historically done.
God bless you.
That's why I brought back scientists into the White House.
Scientists
need
like
to think.
Fauci.
Look, do we think the rest of the world's waiting around?
No.
We're not going to make those kind of investments the rest of the world's saying. Take a look.
Take a look. I
think
cut
China
the Keystone Pipeline. I'm doing a
Is
great
waiting
job.
around to invest in this digital infrastructure?
Do you think China has a
Research
wall
and development?
that's fully built?
I promise you.
Do you think
They
they
are
have
not
an
waiting.
influx of illegals?
But they're counting on American democracy
Yeah.
to be too slow, too limited, and too divided to keep pace. You've heard me say it before.
Say it again.
I think this generation can be marked
As
by the competition between democracies and autocracies.
and
The world's changing
Philosocrates,
so rapidly.
Monoclocrates.
The autocrats are betting on democracy not being able to generate the kind of unity needed to make decisions to get in that race.
It's true.
We
Undeniable.
can't afford to prove them right.
Don't do it.
We have to show the world.
Show it.
Much more important, we have to show ourselves
Show me.
that democracy works,
Democracy is the answer.
that we can come together.
We will
The
come
big
together.
things.
In the little things.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
I had no idea what country I
Of course,
was in.
building the infrastructure of tomorrow
And today.
requires major investments today.
See, I
As I
told
said
you.
last week,
Say it again.
I'm open to ideas about how to pay for this plan.
Well,
with one
we'll figure it
exception.
out. What's that exception?
I will not impose any tax increases
Don't
on people
impose it.
making less than $400,000.
$400,000 a year. I told you he was going to say that. Told
If
you.
others have ideas out there on how to pay for this
No one
investment
else has ideas.
without violating that rule, they should come forward.
Come forward.
There's
Don't
all
be
kinds
scared.
of opportunities. Just list all the
He's
tax
going to list them.
breaks that I find difficult to
Show
explain.
those tax breaks.
Wealthy deductions,
Well,
$360
wealthy
billion,
deductions.
you cap them, top rate of 39%, which it used to be for years, all the way to the Bush administration, almost $250 billion, corporate minimum tax, and the fossil fuel
Fossil fuels.
giveaways of $40
Giveaways.
billion. It said
40
I could
billion.
go on.
He could just go on, but he won't.
But let me tell you what I proposed.
Propose
how
that
to do
plan.
it.
He's going to
We're
tell us
gonna
how to
raise
do
the
it.
corporate tax rate.
Raise that corporate
It
tax
was
rate.
35%
35
for the longest time,
for a long time.
which was too high. Barack and I
It's
thought it was
too
too high
daggum
during our
high.
administration. We all agreed 5 years ago that it should come down somewhat. But the previous administration reduced it all the way down to 21%.
I can't believe Trump would
What
do
I'm
that.
proposing
What are you
is
gonna
that we meet
propose?
in the middle.
Going to be in the middle between my old
28%.
administration and the last one.
28% would still have lower corporate rates than
28.
any time between
28
World
is
War
less
II and
than 29.
2017.
World War II
We'll
was a big
generate
deal.
over $1 trillion in taxes over 15 years. New independent study put out last week found that at least 55 of our largest corporations use the various loopholes to pay zero federal income tax in
Unreal.
2020. It's just not fair. It's
not
not
fair.
fair to the rest of the American taxpayers. We're going to try to put an end to this.
End it, baby.
Not fleece them. 28%.
Might get 29. Wait, no, 28.
If you're a mom and dad, a cop, firefighter, police officer, etc.,
All
you're
union
paying
jobs.
close to that in your income tax.
No doubt.
I've also proposed the global minimum tax, which is being proposed around the world
Yeah.
for U.S. corporations at 21%.
What
Let me
third
tell you
world
what that
country won't
means.
be about that?
It means that companies aren't going to be able to hide their income in places like the Cayman Islands and Bermuda
Quit hiding your income.
in tax havens. We're going to
Those
also
tax
eliminate
havens.
deductions used by corporations for
Get those
offshoring
deductions.
jobs.
Put
and
those
shifting
jobs on the
assets
shore.
overseas. They offshore the jobs,
Put
shift
those
the assets
Cs
overseas,
on
and
to
then don't have to
assets.
pay taxes on all they make.
Pay your
There.
taxes. There.
And we'll significantly ramp up IRS enforcement
IRS,
against
IRS
corporations and
enforcement,
the
baby.
super wealthy who either fail to report their income
Fail
or
and you
underreport.
will succeed.
Estimated that would raise tens of billions of dollars.
Let's raise
It
it
adds up
tens
to
of
more.
trillions.
Than what I proposed in just 15
way more.
years.
Let's make it 16, baby.
It's honest. It's fair. It's fiscally
It's decent.
responsible.
Just like my son.
Pays for what we need and reduces the debt over the long haul. And by the way, I didn't hear any of our friends who were criticizing this plan say that The corporate tax cut, which added $2 trillion of the debt. The Trump tax cut, $2 trillion, $1.9 trillion in
Couldn't
debt.
have been the spending. It's
Wasn't paid
definitely the
for.
tax cuts.
The vast majority of which went to the top 1% of the wage earners.
There's a talking point.
I didn't hear anybody hollering in this recovery, the so-called I became president, this K-shaped recovery, where billionaires
Looks like he's gonna
made
do a magic
$300 billion more dollars during this period. Where's the outrage there? I'm not trying to punish anybody.
trick.
Damn it. Maybe it's because I come from middle-class
Don't you
neighborhood.
curse.
I'm sick and tired of ordinary people being fleeced.
And flossed.
Let me close by saying this.
Closing prayer.
Whatever partisan divisions there are around other issues, there don't have to be around this one. The divisions of the moment shouldn't stop us from doing the right thing for the future.
Amen.
These aren't Republican bridges, Democratic
Democratic
airports,
bridges.
Republican hospitals,
Oh.
or Democratic power grid.
These are American.
Think of the Transcontinental Railroad, Interstate
about it.
Highway System, or the space race. We're
All
one nation,
government funded.
united and connected.
Under God.
As I said last week, I'm going to bring
Say it again.
Republicans to the White House. I invite them to come.
If they don't
We'll have
listen,
good
get
faith
out.
negotiations. And any Republican who wants to get this done, I invite them.
I invite them.
We have to get these things done.
Sure.
We're at an inflection point in American democracy.
Our country was awesome
This
to
is a
the
moment
pandemic.
where we prove whether or not democracy can deliver.
Come on, baby, deliver it for me,
Whether
baby.
it can lay the foundation for an economy built from the bottom up and the middle out, not trickle down economics from the very top.
I hate when it trickles
Whether it can
down.
lay a good
You know what I'm
foundation
talking about.
for good jobs in the 21st century economy. I tell the kids, the young people who work for me, told my
They're
kids,
so young. They're like, stop
that go
smoking
on
pot.
college campuses, they're going to see more change
Than they've ever
in
seen.
the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 50 years.
Wow.
We're
Unreal.
going to talk about commercial aircraft flying at subsonic speeds, supersonic
One day we'll
speeds.
fly. Subsonic, sonic.
Be able
I
to,
love-
figuratively, if you
Metaphorically.
decided to do it, traverse the world in about an hour, travel 21,000 miles an hour.
What?
So much is changing. We have got to lead it.
We have got to lead.
I believe democracy can come through
We've got to lead.
when the American people
We've
come
got-
together.
We've got to lead.
We saw it in the American Rescue Plan. We're seeing it with the Jobs Plan. The American Rescue Plan, which got so badly criticized. How many of my Republican colleagues you've seen gone on your stations or your newspapers and say, boy,
Joe, talk in the
people in my state
microphone.
really like it?
Joe, talk in the microphone.
Because
Go back to the microphone.
Improper, I haven't asked permission.
Joe, come back to the
A number of
microphone.
Republicans and
Where are you going,
Democrats
Joe?
who were hesitant
Where are you
to
going,
call me.
baby? Where are you going, baby?
God, this really works. Overwhelming majority of the American people, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, support infrastructure investments that meets the moment.
Name one.
So I urge the Congress, listen to your constituents,
Listen.
and together we can lay a foundation for an economy that works for everyone and allows America to remain the world leader.
Yeah.
When we do that,
Do it.
I believe, as I said last week,
I believe that we will win.
that in
I
50
believe
years
that we
from
will
now, when people look back, they'll say,
Say
this was the moment
that we all came together.
together that we won America's future.
Oh.
I really believe that.
Well, if you believe
Thank
it, I
you
believe
all.
it.
May God
Thank
bless
you.
you, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
And may God bless.
Are you willing to go lower than the 28%?
Uh-oh.
tax
A
rate?
question.
I'm willing to listen to that. I'm wide open to, but we got to pay for this. We got to pay. There's many other ways we can do it, but I'm willing to negotiate that. I've come forward the best, most rational way, in my view, the fairest way to pay for it. But there are many other ways as well.
I can't believe he even answered that question. That was unbelievable.
And I'm open.
Will you have failed on your promise of bipartisanship if you don't get Republicans on board with this plan, your first plan passed along party lines?
Look, what I said was I would try to work with my friends on the other side.
Yeah. Try you
There
fail.
are things we're
Do
working
you
on.
must.
Together some of which we passed and some we will pass.
Pass it again,
But the
baby.
last plan, I laid out what was available, what I was suggesting, and how I deal with it. And a bipartisan group came to see me. And then the Republican group came to see me. And they started off at $600 billion, and that was it. If they'd come forward with a plan that did the bulk of it, it was $1.3 billion or $4 billion, 2 or 3, that allowed me to have pieces of all that was in there, I would have been prepared to compromise.
Sure.
But they didn't. They didn't move an inch. Not an inch. But for example, I am dealing with a bipartisan group.
I
that
am
came
what
to
I
see me.
am.
Now it's about, what,
talking about
3-4
Nancy
weeks
Pelosi.
ago when they came about computer chips. And about,
Joe, come back to the mic.
and they said, look, we have to have our own supply. We have to work together. We're working on that. Chuck Schumer and I think McConnell are about to introduce a bill along those lines. So I'm prepared to
Now
work.
there's a match made
I
in
really
heaven.
am. But to automatically say that the only thing that's infrastructure is a highway, a bridge, or whatever, that's just not rational. It really
Keep
isn't.
it rational.
I think the vast majority of Americans think everything from the sewer pipes to the sewer facilities to the water pipes, I think they're infrastructure. Anyway, thank you all so very much.
What are you gonna do on guns, Mr. President?
Run.
Talking to you about that, I think the day after tomorrow.
Ghost guns?
Can you tell us what you told the King of York, Mr.
Ooh.
President? Are you concerned about the situation there?
No, I'm not. I asked Cole to tell him that he has a friend in America. Stay strong.
Interesting. Well, there's one. We got one more to go. I will start that in 1 second.